Hey folks, welcome back to Newcasting. It has been a very long time. I have to remember my password. Oh god. Oh, it got me in, thank god. Okay, here we go. The fact that I remembered that password was like something completely random versus something I use semi-regularly means I'm not losing my mind. Okay, so where did we leave off? The apocalypse, the Cataclysm has started. The Cataclysm was set to start on turn 90, and guys, it is turn 89. And sometimes it comes a day or two early. So yeah, we get... actually, this looks like horror spam, though. Yeah, these are Magic Phase sent horrors. I don't know who's... This is probably Bogaroos casting this. But anyway, there's going to be... Oh, these look like real horrors. Oh no, this is Illwinter. We have... Damn. Grippa actually has some serious globals. Like, the tiny ass Utgard. Like, I don't even know if we can find Utgard, to be honest. They're like... Where... Is this... Okay, here is Utgard. Utgard has like 8 provinces, but has 3 globals. He has more globals than any other player. That's hilarious. One of which being Illwinter. And yeah, we have an interesting situation where Marignon has kind of won some decisive battles against Bogaroos, but Bogaroos also doing some kind of cool things. And it's been a long time since I casted, so I kind of went back and watched the last episode, but we're going to be a little rusty here. We have Raga coming in, raiding Atlantis. We have Atlantis attacking into Raga. And Atlantis, by the way, failed a throne rush recently. Semi-recently. That's the other context for this. A bunch of raiding happening. And I'm trying to see what else we have. We have a big fight here. Or not big fight. This is just PD. This is why PD dumps aren't that great in the late game, because you need mage support. And Pillar of Fire, look at that, Stellar Cascades. I want to see how effective Stellar Cascades is here. It hit these guys. Yeah, it's giving them some serious fatigue. Not like game-breaking amounts of fatigue, but... Yeah, Pillar of Fire, good spell. Okay. Utgard rolling out the mighty armies of Utgard, including mages. For those of you who... Oh my god, they're in a communion. Ah! What is this magic that Utgard is casting? Utgard's such a good nation. I really like Utgard. Okay, Atlantis rolling out. Let's see if how this guy dies, because he potentially could have died from Soul Slay. Interesting. Yoink. I'm honestly not a huge fan of Wraith Lords, guys. Like, there's a bunch of people who are like, oh, if they're immortal, they break the game. Yeah, okay. I have never lost... I have never felt like oppressed in any way, shape, or form by Wraith Lords. If you can get a ton of them with like Well of Misery up, and your opponent doesn't have Astral to do Soul Slay type things, they can be pretty okay. We just have a bunch of raiding. I don't know how we're going to cover all this. I think for now I'm just going to flip through all these. This is kind of a cool battle. If it looks interesting, we'll watch it, and then we're going to I'm going to have to reorient myself to the strategic map. And we're just going to talk about kind of territory changing hands. Okay. So this is the Fallen Angel with a big squad of Devils and Fiends of Darkness. And Fiends of Darkness are pretty damn good units. They've got Dark Power 2, which means they hit really hard in Darkness. And you get the nice thing about Fiends of Darkness is you get a lot of them. In some ways, devils are better. Like, devils can really murder super combatants that aren't prepared. Like, the barbed tail is disgusting if they don't have, because like they have to have really high poison resistance to survive this as a super combatant. And then it's magic. These are all piercing. This is a super high attack, super high damage piercing weapon. So they're pretty good again. I mean, devils are good too, but you get more Fiends of Darkness per cast. So it's a bit kind of depending what you want. Yeah, okay, and then we're into this part. So let's come and take a look at the strategic map, and let's reorient ourselves with thrones. So right now, we need 7 thrones to win, and Bogarus has 3, Atlantis has 4, so Atlantis is still the throne leader. Raga has 2, and Marignan only 2. If we look at score graphs in terms of provinces, let's see. I got surrounded, but okay. I finally have 2 monitors, so now I can actually stream games properly. I moved to North Carolina, and in the process, one of my monitors was severely damaged. So anyway, I had to get another one, but it's not so damaged that I can't use it as a backup. Okay. So anyway, the monitor I got's not as good as my old one. I thought it would be good, but it kind of came in as just like a little more lightweight, not as robust. I'm kind of sad. I really do. My old monitor was the shit. Okay, anyway. Raga, looking mighty big. They're in position 1 in terms of province size. Atlantis, very small, even though they're the game leader for thrones. And Marignan is in number 2 with Bogarus on a bit of a downhill slide. Okay. But a lot of this is going to be, I don't know, it's going to be, except Atlantis, nobody's really close enough to throne victory that even like Horrors coming in and sniping these thrones, which is about to start happening, is going to matter that much. We'll just go ahead and go to the next turn. And I think from that, we'll do that one on the strategic map, and that will kind of help orient us to what's happening in the game. Okay, so we're going to go to turn 90. Dire Portent. Atlantis has cast a global. It looks like I got... God of Atlantis has cast a global. No other globals have been cast. I think he... Oh, dude. Dude, oh, God. I don't know what... We don't know what global he cast. Well, Atlantis, if you're watching this video, put in the comments what global you cast. Because he cast the global here, and then the fact that Cataclysm came, it caused the caster to get just absolutely murked by a horror. I don't think we're going to get to see it, though. We won't. Which is very sad. But such as... Oh. Well, we know what it was. He put up Vengeful Waters. Oh, wait, does it show it to us? No. He put up Vengeful Waters, and then he got murked by... unless there was a battle here where the Horrors killed him, I think he got murked. So let's go to Atlantis. So let's see what Atlantis is doing. There's a battle here where these guys kill PD. Let's see what this is kind of interesting. It's a pretty low commitment Kalem script. I mean, he's a fair amount of mages. Oh, Living Clouds. Yeah, that's going to be really hard to deal with. It's pretty solid. I mean, there are ways to deal with that, but I don't know. I dig that. That was kind of cool. And then Atlantis moving the army out here versus Raga. Here, he snipes some Atlantis crossbowmen. And then over here, Atlantis just raiding along the coast. So far, it looks like Atlantis is gaining ground. Unless there was a fight here. Oh, which there was. So let's see what this is. So he's got just some guys guarding him. And it's looking like he's planning on dropping Winds of Death. He hasn't routed yet. Wait, who's casting Wind of Death? I mean, it kind of looks to me... We're going to watch this again, sorry. Okay, he did Wind of Death round 1. Then he's going to do Invulnerability. Then he gets absolutely murdered by these Zaydens. Was this worth it? I would say no. Thing is, so a lot of times you look at Wind of Death, you're like, oh my god, it's so good. But like, this is a Wind of Death casting. Did hardly anything. And I think the reason is because the counters to Wind of Death are mass regen and then having long-lived troops. And that's most of what's here. So, and he also anti-magic, right? So he's got anti-magic up, it looks like, yeah. Oh, but then there's another battle. They're going inside the fort. And here there's a monolith. Oh boy. Taraga's like, I want this throne. Atlantis says no. So Atlantis has this golem. A flesh eater. I can't remember if this works on mindless. I think it does. Interesting. He just gazed at the death of his own troops, I think. Firestorm, uh-oh. Did he get that? Okay, he got Army of Gold off. So, he got Firestorm up and Atlantis doesn't have the counter. So really what's going to happen here is everything's going to die. Except this guy. And I think this guy's doing Earthquake, it looks like. Which is obviously not going to be very good against an Army of Gold Raga. Go ahead and do team-colored squares so we can see a little better. Question is, how is he going to kill the monolith? Because that is the only thing that is going to matter right now. And this golem's getting absolutely crushed. Does golems have some fire resistance? No, they have a pretty high fire resistance. I'm not actually sure what's crushing him. I kind of want to see. He's gotten spanked by some things. Air Elemental with lightning from Jesus Christ, it's only supposed to do 6 damage. You got a crazy roll. But I think in general it's the no shock resistance that's getting him. I don't know, he has 5. Wait, how does he have 5? Oh, he must have had something go off. I want to see how this guy died. I think some Pillar of Fire was involved. Because remember, fire is very bad. Okay, Storm Demon. Yeah, Storm Demons are going to rock him too. Golem. Yeah. Okay. And the golem, I mean, the thing didn't even last that long. I think he just got wrecked by, like, Pillar of Fire and stuff. I mean, barely killed anything, actually. I looked up here, I saw these guys that, I was like, oh man. But, I mean, really... Maybe want to see how the golem died real quick. just not even close, really. He's just getting absolutely murdered. I think it's mostly shock resistant stuff. Frost Fiend with Ice Rod for 6 damage. Huh, I want to look at that. This looks to be an armor-piercing attack. I didn't remember it being that. I mean, even the Zayedans are doing damage. And then, yeah, Lightning Swarm. He's basically just taking damage from everything. There's not a lot of zeros up here. Like, Venomous Claw hit for 3. Let's take a look at these. I can't remember, because I almost never see Frost Fiends. Ice Rod, 2-handed weapon, 21. Oh, it's got Weapons of Sharpness on it. I knew there was an armor-piercing effect, but it was from Weapons of Sharpness. And got wrecked. Riggedy wrecked. All right, so this is really important, though. This puts Raga in control of this throne. And Atlantis is still really weak after his failed throne rush. So that's a really big development. And let's see if there's anything else happening in Atlantis land. I don't think so. Atlantis has kind of been pinned into the underwater parts of the world. Except they still have their capital for some time. But it looks like this force from Raga... I mean, this is enough. It theoretically could cap Atlantis. I mean, maybe this group could sail back. I think this isn't sailing distance, so it's possible they could sail back, but... Ooh, not looking good. Bogarus with an enormous army here. Let's do Bogarus next. Okay, we have a big battle here between Marignon and Bogarus. Bogarus with Storm Demons. That's not super easy for Bogarus to get. Did he retreat them? The fuck? No. No! No! Dude, if you retreat in a 4 battle, you die. They're not escaping. They're dead. Dude. Dude, no. Oh wait, he probably would have won this. He probably would have won. This is a lot of Storm Demons. No, I think he would have won. That's a lot of Storm Demons. I mean, there's a chance he wouldn't, but if his scripting was right with all these guys, and especially if he probably needed an Astropalagist, but if he had an Astropalagist and he had these Storm Demons, he could have won. Oh, that just sucks. See, the Storm Demons are all dead, even though they retreated. Okay, so this is Marignon. Starting to look good for Marignon. Starting to look really bad for Bogarus. He's got this fort under siege. He's got this huge army here sitting on this throne, which is probably a little overkill because, you know, you want to protect it from horrors, but you don't want to give up all your land. And, you know, if it were like the last 4 or 5 turns before a throne victory, maybe you do this, but I don't know. This seems to me like giving up a bit too much infrastructure to keep this big of an army down here. We've got battle here. Battle here. This throne's under siege too. So Marignon's about to walk into another throne. That's going to put them at 3. This is cracked and Bogarus can't defend it. Bogarus has a huge army here. I think Bogarus has some priority issues here, like with where they're massing troops, assuming these scouting reports are correct. They're just massing like in these few locations, and they're not doing like covering the field too much. Yeah, so that's Bogarus. Marignon, we already talked about that battle. They're raiding down here. Are they fighting Utgard? Oh man, this is unfortunate. Utgard attacks Bogarus here. Mages. Some of these are Garms. What are the other guys? Huskarls or something? Oh, Javelists. They're starving, of course. Why would you... That's one thing with giant armies. You do have to pay special attention to supplies. Anyway. Not looking good for Bogarus. I was kind of betting on Bogarus. This is the time in the game when Bogarus starts to really come online. But it feels like they're starting to wind down. But yeah, it's looking like it's the end of Utgard. And Marignon is really set up to take this turn. I'm not sure there's much that Utgard is going to be able to do with the stuff we've seen so far to throw off these stacks. Now, he may have some surprises, but just everything we've seen so far, this is basically going to be a pocket throne for Marignon. The thing Marignon would have to worry about is, like, if they lose a major battle here, this Bogarusian army could come in and make a lot of progress. But they've got a backup army here, so we'll have to see. Okay. And I think this Utgard army actually was kind of responsible for saving the game, keeping Atlantis from getting this throne, but maybe not. Maybe I can't remember correctly. Anything else with Marignon? There's a little jousting over here with Raga. Raga kills some palace guards. Lots of vampires coming out from Raga. I mean, well, this is Marignon in this case. There's a vampire over here. No? Okay. Cool, we'll go ahead and go to the next turn, turn 91. Turn 91. Okay, a little bit more horror spam. Some demonic locusts. These are kind of cool because they're heretics. It's one of the few summonable heretic units in the game. They're also notable for having a rather lethal poison if you get damaged by them. And their attack is armor piercing. But they're expensive. But it's kind of cool. Sage getting wrecked. We're not going to do this from here. We'll start with Raga, because I don't know we really gave Raga a proper go in the last turn. We kind of did them by proxy of looking at everybody else. Okay, Gath, still going strong. Let's see what he named to this guy. Doesn't even name him, like not even trying hard. Halberd of Might. This guy looks like he's set up to kill angels or something. Yoink, 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 yoink. Okay. Cool. Gath proving that Gath is not dead. Raga. Any moves? He takes this fort. Well, there's nothing inside of it. And he has put Atlantis under siege. This is his little low-commitment squad. Just murders that PD. And presumably he can now bring all this to bear on finishing off Atlantis' position on land. So I think that's it for Raga. Let's go back to our faithful Bogarusians. Interestingly, Marignon is not rolling south here. I'm not sure what he's doing. He may be planning... He could sail. Marignon can sail. So he potentially could take a little trip across the channel and try to check this. That would be an interesting reason to not progress south towards Bogarus, but... a plague doctor. What a dick. What a dick. Alright, and then send horror spam coming in from Bogarus to raid this back. Okay, Bogarus doing a bit to contest the raiding battle here. Not bad. But Marignon making progress, like taking provinces here. Ooh, going underwater with hydromancers. Now these hydromancers, oh, I thought they had gift of water breathing. Maybe they don't. Let's see how he's going underwater. Maybe water breathing items, but it's looking like he may be eyeing yeah, Sea King goblets. Yeah, he may be eyeing this Atlantis throne. Okay, I dig. Can he take this? Maybe. You know, if it's just the troops, he can take it. And if he can deal with the water elementals, you know, depends how many mages are here. But if there's enough water elementals, it's not really going to matter what Marignon does. Very hard to fight the well-established, or like, you know, an underwater nation defending a throne where they potentially have access to a large number of water elementals. Okay. Marignon making plays. Still not going on to Utgard's throne, but they have decided to move on to some Utgard infrastructure. And they are on top of Utgard themselves. Oh, that's where this battle was with the Locusts. Oh, the Grey Knights. These guys are kind of cool. I think they're ethereal. Yeah. And then we have Utgard going on top of Raga's throne. Oh my god. So big communion. Gamherding's in the front as a diversion. Lots of Zayedans. And an Archdevil. It's doing some living fire, as one does. Fog Warriors coming out. Utgard has to win this. There's no way they don't. I don't remember if these Zayedans have magic weapons. They're not all blessed, for starters. And they don't have magic weapons. Still, they can do a lot of damage. But there's more mage support. I mean, I don't know the ratio here. Okay, so 14 slaves, and if we look at the total commander squad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it looks like it's about a 2-to-1 ratio of slaves to masters, which it can be okay. That might be a little excessive, though, especially for Seth Kona. Seth Kona, you can pile up a little bit higher. See what's happening where these Gamherdings are outnumbering the Zayevans. Oh yeah, I just smacked them right there. 22, 25 damage. Man, when these Gamherdings get angry, they just are unleashing a mighty beating on these birds. There's a bunch of Skelly spam back here, but I think it's been getting distracted by something, because it hasn't really been pouring out to reinforce. There must have been some air elementals back here that was distracting it. We'll go back and check that part of the battle out, but now you can see it's not looking very good. So let's watch that again. I want to see the I think there was a lot of Skelly spam. Yeah. Okay, it's all these guys in the back. And there were a few guys back there. It was only once it dies that this stuff comes forward. Very clean win for Utgard. Loses 25 Gamherdings, but kills 41 Zayedans. And, like, Zayedans are way more. It's like 3 times as expensive. And it's way more resources and recruitment points. So, hard to mass Zayedans. Not so hard to mass Gams. Didn't really lose any mages. Here he killed some. Pretty major win for Utgard. Now Raga's in this, like, super weird position where they have to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Because Raga cannot afford to lose this throne. So this is a major kick in the pants to Raga. Like Raga was in a very good position to win the game, I think, until this point. Like this point right here really is the major kick in the crotch for Raga. I mean, Utgard, who should not be taking anything from Raga, is about to take this throne. And there's not much Raga has in the area to protect it. And it's very hard to kill. Like, this is a proper Utgard army. It's going to be very difficult to deal with. And it's got a monolith present, which, I mean, forget about it. So if Raga loses this throne, you know, it's going to be very, very hard for them to pull out a win, especially with Marignon getting all this momentum now, killing Bogarus in this battle, potentially about to take this from Utgard, and potentially about to take this throne from Atlantis. And I think we'll call it here. We're going to go ahead and do a new episode. I'm going to keep recording, but for you, it will be a few days, so I will see you then.